in media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you all about the COVID-19 impact, the current topics, as well as on the for the entertainment also. But today's topic is a very, very important topic. And the topic is Vishwakarma, past, present, and future. But before I will take up this topic, I am very happy to inform, as you all know, that we all are celebrating the 70th birthday of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi, born on 17th September 1950. He is the 14th and current Prime Minister of India since 2014. He was the Chief Minister of Gujarat from 2001 to 2014 and is the Member of Parliament from Varanasi. He is the first Prime Minister outside of the Indian National Congress to win 2 consecutive terms with a full majority and the second to complete more than 5 years in office after Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Today, we extend our heartiest birthday greetings to him. And I, being the chairman of Organ Donation India Foundation, is very happy to inform that our Honorable Prime Minister has given a very, very positive message on organ donation, which we'll be releasing very soon, although we have already circulated on our Facebook, but definitely all our media partners will be releasing it. And this shows how much concern our Honorable Prime Minister is having even for the organ donation. So thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, and our warmest greetings to you on your 70th birthday. Now, for today's topic, that is Vishwakarma, past, present, and future. Vishwakarma Jayanti is a day of celebration for Vishwakarma, a Hindu god, the divine architect. He is considered as Swambhu and creator of the world. He constructed the holy city of Dwarka, where Krishna ruled the Maya Sabha of the Pandavas and was the creator of many fabulous weapons for the gods. He is also called the divine carpenter, is mentioned in the Rig Veda, and is credited with Satapatya Veda, the science of mechanics and architecture. The festival is observed primarily in factories and industrial areas, often on the shop floor. As a mark of reverence, the day of worship is marked not only by the engineers and architectural community, but by artisans, craftsmen, industrial workers, factory workers, and others. They pray for a better future, safe working conditions, and above all, success in their respective fields. Workers also pray for the smooth functioning of various machines. The term Vishwakarma was originally used as an epithet of an supreme god and as an attribute of Indra and the sun. The name Vishwakarman occurs 5 times in the 10th book of the Rig Veda. The 2 hymns of the Rig Veda identify Vishwakarma as all-seeing and having eyes, faces, arms, and feet on every side, and also has wings. Brahma, the later god of creation, who is 4-faced and 4-armed, resembles him in these aspects. He is represented as being the source of all prosperity, as swift as thought, and titled as seer, priest, lord of speech. The later parts of the Rig Veda reveals efforts to find a satisfactory answer to the mysteries regarding the origin of the universe. The creations of hands present in these parts of the Rig Veda mentions individual creator gods as opposed to the collection of gods and their chiefs, Indra, Varun, Agni, etc., creating the world. In the Rig Veda, Vishwakarma is visualized as the ultimate reality, from whose navel all visible things, Hiran, Garbha, emanate. The same imagery is seen in Yajurveda Parushat Sukta, in which the divine smith Swatar emerges from Vishwakarma. Hindu scriptures describe many of Vishwakarma's architectural accomplishments. Through the 4 yugs of Hindu mythology, he had built several towns and temples for the gods. Among them were in chronological order Swarga, heaven, in the Satyug, Lanka in the Treta Yuga, and Dwarka, Krishna's capital, in the Dwapar Yuga. The following are also built by Vishwakarma's: Pushpak Viman, Trishul of Lord Shiva, Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Vishnu, Vraj Ayurdham of Lord Indra, and Jagannath Puri temple. And to discuss about the Vishwakarma's past, present, and future, today we have a very, very elite, knowledgeable, experienced panel with us. I would like to invite my first guest. He is Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS. Dr. Bose is one-man expert commission on labor to prepare an action plan for the welfare and development of the workforce in the context of COVID-19. He is also the principal advisor, Government of India Heritage Project. He is the chairman of Indian Red Cross Kerala. He was the vice chancellor of National Museum, University of Delhi. He has authored 40 books in English, Malayalam, and Hindi, including novels, short stories, and essays. 4 of his books have become bestsellers. Dr. Bose is a recipient of 31 national and international awards, including United Nations Global Best Practice Award. He also received prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru Fellowship. Kerala government termed him Lord of Ideas. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji called him inspired civil servant, and our Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi called him man of ideas. Welcome Dr. C.V. Anand Bose on our show. Dr. Bose, today we are celebrating 2 very auspicious occasions. First is definitely the Vishwakarma Day, and the other is the Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi's 70th birthday. Now we would like to know the Vishwakarma's past, present, and future from Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, please.
It's a very happy coincidence that the Vishwakarma Day and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's birthday falls on the same day, that is today. First of all, my wishes for many, many happy returns of the day for India's Prime Minister. It's not how long you live that matters. It is how you live that matters. Whether you are a tea seller or a Prime Minister, or a tea seller turned Prime Minister, the yardstick for success is the same. Did you give good tea? Did you give good governance? If yes is the answer, it means you have succeeded. In fact, as we know, Sri Narendra Modi, his upbringing shows that he is one of the most ordinary human beings. But if he has reached extraordinary heights, we have to see how it was made possible. You know, the first birthday which he celebrated after becoming Prime Minister, he touched the feet of his mother, and that was the beginning of his birthday. This sends a great message to humanity. You know, you may be a big Prime Minister, but for the mother, you are just a young baby. The importance given to motherhood, that is a great message, sublime message, which Modi ji has given during his first birthday after becoming the Prime Minister. He, being a Prime Minister, receives bouquets and brickbats. The bouquets he shares with the people. Brickbats he keeps to himself. That is what is called the pocketing insults. People may hate, people may criticize, people may revile, people may undermine. The Prime Minister, that is democracy. You have a right to dissent. But even those who resent the Prime Minister will love the man, that is Narendra Modi. What better gift do you need for your birthday than the affection of everyone, including your detractors? 3 cheers to Narendra Modi, and wish him a long and happy life in the service of humanity, in the service of the nation. Now, this happens on a day which is very important for the entire humanity. That is, this is a Vishwakarma Day. And you have chosen the topic, past, present, and future. Yes. What is the past? Let us go to the great mythological past. You have yourself underlined, he is a creator. We are all indebted to him. The entire universe is indebted to him. He created it. Like in the Bible, God said, let there be light, and light there was. Vishwakarma decided what the creatures, the universe will be, what the air and the sky, the animals and men, birds, beasts, and butterflies, the great edifices that we have. It is he who designed. First, it was born in the vision of the great Vishwakarma. Then only it was translated into the field. 3 cheers and salutations to the great God, Vishwakarma. And he is certainly in distinguished company in the pantheon of gods. Let us take, for instance, Hephaestus. Hephaestus is Vishwakarma's equivalent in the Greek mythology. And Vulcan is his co-brother in the Roman mythology. When we compare comparative mythology, we find the greatness of the all-encompassing vision of Vishwakarma, which distinguishes himself among the gods of his own ilk in other literature and mythology. Now, you mentioned about the creation of Pushpak Viman. See, the story behind it, his daughter Sanjana was married to the sun god, but unable to bear the meridian splendor of the sun. She complains to her father. Is there anything which the father cannot do? He took away the energy, most of the part of the energy of the sun, and with that energy, he created the Pushpak Viman. So naturally, Vishwakarma was a designer. Vishwakarma was an architect. Vishwakarma was an inventor. Vishwakarma was a discoverer. Vishwakarma was a creator. Vishwakarma knew engineering. Vishwakarma knew avionics. Yes, there is no branch of knowledge which is not represented by Vishwakarma. He is the fountainhead of all knowledge in the world. That is how he has been pictured, and rightly too, in the mythology before us. Now, that is the present, that is the past of the Vishwakarma community. That is why, though they are called Vishwakarmas here, they are also called Vishwa Brahmins. But M.N. Srinivasan will say, sociologists like M.N. Srinivasan will say, why they lost the title of Vishwa Brahmins? Because when there was Brahminical dominance in the country, it happened. I'm not going to come to that. Now, the past, the recent past, the immediate past. I have personal experience in the last 50 years, how the traditional craftsman, the master craftsman, the master carpenter, in Malayalam we call the Muttashari reverentially. Yes, the Perintachan, the great master carpenter, how they were respected. I had in my own village, the master carpenter Shangunni Panigan. In my younger days, I happened to be with him, watching him work in the workshop which he had constructed in our own house for some construction activities. When, under his magical chisel and hammer, when the wood is turned into a piece of art, you will look at him with wonder and awe. He knows when we see only an irregular shaped wood before us, he can see the sculpture behind it. The great sculptor that he was not just a carpenter. He was a great scientist. He was an engineer. He was an architect. He was a carpenter, of course he was. He was an expert in everything. That was the tradition of the village carpenters. Those days are gone. In fact, you mentioned about some of the awards which I got from the United Nations. I owe it to Shangunni Panikan. My affinity towards housing, which made me get all these awards, is not because of my efforts. My introduction to the world of construction, the world of buildings, the world of Vastu, was by the nameless, faceless, unremembered great man, Shangunni Panikan of our village. I dedicate my awards in the field of housing to that great master carpenter. There were similar master carpenters in every village. The village economy was centered around the carpenters, the blacksmiths, the goldsmiths, and who are all classified as the Vishwakarmas. They were all a set of trustworthy people who worked for the community. The community were indebted to them. When Shangunni Panikan builds a house, he is not constructing a building. He is building a relationship. He puts his soul into it. That was a tradition which was there when the community carpenter, the community blacksmith, and the community goldsmith were all revered in the villages of India, in the village of Kerala. What pushed them out. What pushed them out were the forces of urbanization. When urbanization came, all these activities which were artisanal in nature, my house means the house which my carpenter will decide, which my carpenter will design, which my carpenter will construct. The materials he will decide, which tree to cut, how to take the blocks that are required for that, he will decide. The artisans will construct, they put their soul into it. But then, when artisanal activities gave place to the contracting activities, the soul was lost. I think that is where urbanization is what caused the downfall. If I say decline and fall of the Roman Empire, I want to decline and fall, but definitely the decline of the artisans, decline of the Vishwakarmas, it is because of the forces of urbanization. That is the immediate past. And of course, the present. Where are the Vishwakarmas now? There was a time when they were on the top of the social hierarchy. They were on top of the economic hierarchy. But they have been pushed out of their field. Many of them have become penniless. And this is the existence which modernity has given to this ancient trade. It is necessary. We have to make amends for the sins that we have heaped on them. Vishwakarma community, as Shakespeare would say, they are more sinned against than sinning. It is for us to correct the sins and provide the rightful place, rightful space which the Vishwakarmas owe in society. I am sure that on this birthday of the Prime Minister who wields power in his hand and who has got a social commitment, I am sure that a lot of activities, a lot of schemes can come from him which can rehabilitate the Vishwakarmas to their old glory. The nation is indebted to them. The society is indebted to them. Our culture is indebted to them. 3 cheers to the Vishwakarma community, which built up our civilization and made us where we have reached today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bose, for giving your views. And Dr. Bose started his thoughts with wishing our Honorable Prime Minister on his 70th birthday. And he says this is a coincidence, happy coincidence that the Vishwakarma Day and Honorable Prime Minister's birthday are the same day. And he says that the Vishwakarma's past was very glorified because they have created everything. They were the creators. And according to Dr. Bose, even the recent past, his own experience says that that time all the carpenters, all the artisans, they were working and designing the houses. They used to decide what is to be done. But today, after the urbanization, they have lost, and the present is very bleak. But he is very confident that today's being the birthday of Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, he will be doing something, and he will definitely come out with some schemes for the rehabilitation and for the benefits of Vishwakarmas. Thank you, Dr. Bose, for giving your views on this occasion. As one-man expert commission on labor, what measures would you recommend for the rehabilitation and development of the Vishwakarmas in India?
In fact, as the one-man commission of the Government of India Labor Advisory Board, I have had the occasion to interact with these panelists and also others on various occasions and taking a cue from whatever they have suggested earlier and also now. I would recommend to the government and also certainly include it in my report a few points which will address their grievances and also pave the way for the future. Number one, under Atmanirbhar Bharat, when we are going back to the villages, let us also revive the earlier village economy, which was centered around the village artisans, number one. Number two, there should be a national mission, preferably under the Prime Minister himself, for Vishwakarmas. Third, a national social welfare board, which will take care of the healthcare, pension, and also insurance scheme for them, and also other welfare activities. This should be a national level body, preferably an authority under the statutory, under the act passed by the Parliament. Then there can be a Vishwakarma University of Traditional Knowledge, because this traditional knowledge is not really certified and accepted by the academics in the general sense. So there should be a university almost modeled on the lines of Nalanda to revive these traditions, a university of traditional knowledge. Then there should be artist villages all over India, where these trades can be showcased and the know-how can be imparted, marketing can be arranged. Then an assured basic income for those who are below the poverty line, an assured basic income should be provided for by the government, and for this, a special corpus of funds can be created. Next is national registry. We should have a national registration of all the artisans know clearly well which artisan has got, which are the traits which he represents, which are his plus points. Now, Mr. P.D.T. Acharya has said, unless it makes political sense, it doesn't make economic sense or it doesn't make social sense either. Therefore, we can have more representation of nominees from this community in the Rajya Sabha. And in some states, we have the bicameral legislation where it does not exist. Why not think of bicameral legislation so that not only Vishwakarmas, but also the other deprived sections of society can be given a representation in the decision-making process. Now, a UID, unique identification number, should be given to all those who are in the Vishwakarmas so that the nation knows who is who. Then, professional status has to be given to the Vishwakarmas. Like we give to doctors and engineers and advocates, professional status has to be given to them. Some of the masters, the Sapatis, the great Acharyas, they may not have a university degree, but they have got a great fund of knowledge. Let it be graded, let it be evaluated. There can be kind of grading of A, B, C, D. A can be termed as professors, the status of professors, B as associate professors, and so on and so forth. And now, when we are thinking of introducing vocational education from the 6th standard of the new education policy, why not engage these people as instructors there? They can be given academic grading based on the measurement of their merit, not their university degrees. Now, the research into the Vishwakarma arts which they are representing, there should be proper research for this, and there should be a center for conducting research into the traits of the Vishwakarma and the great work which they have done. More awards and recognition should be instituted at the national level to honor, like in the field of sports, in other fields, and in the field of science. We should have more awards and recognition at the national level for those who are excelled in various fields among the Vishwakarmas. The panchayat should be due to the panchayats to identify the Vishwakarmas there, to nurture them, promote them, propagate, and give them the necessary financial and social support. There can be traditional crafts as part of the heritage movement. In fact, Mr. Shankaran has said that in our intangible cultural heritage, Vishwakarma Day should be implemented. Yes. So our monuments are protected, but not those who created the monuments. I am also principal advisor to the National Heritage Project, where we take a lot of care to protect the monuments. But how about protecting the creators of the monuments? I think that should also gain the attention of the government. Now, there should be books which are researched, which will interpret, and which will relearn, and which will publish all the arts which the Vishwakarmas have been transmitting among us, and the Vishwakarmas have it with them. Include it in the curriculum of the technical institutions. Yes, the Vishwakarma, the Vastu Vidya, glimpses of architecture. In fact, there should be interactive studies of the traditional architecture and the modern architecture. Now, hold exhibitions in various cities globally. Yes, of the handicrafts, the traditions which the Vishwakarmas are representing. We should have exhibitions to showcase the best of it, not only in the Indian cities, but also in the global cities. Now, Vishwakarma Gurukulas. There are so many people all over the world who would love to come and live with the masters in this field and learn it by themselves. Why not encourage them by instituting travel grants, scholarships, and also payment for the teachers who teach there, that is traditional people who practice the Vishwakarma arts. Now, why not confer honorary doctorate on the master artisans? Why should we go by whether they have an MPhil or an MA? See, they have already got masters and post-graduation and doctoral from the University of Tradition. Why not recognize it and encourage them? Then encourage Sanskrit, because most of the texts I understand are in Sanskrit. Vishwakarmiyam, Manishalaya Chandrika, Manava Vastu Lakshanam, Maya Madam, Vastu Vidya. Some are, of course, in local languages, but most of the treatises and texts are in Sanskrit. Why not? Why not encourage the learning of course, the new education policy encourages that. And second, next is set up in each panchayat Vishwakarma professional service centers. That somebody said it, Vishwakarma sadhans, where people who practice the various crafts under the Vishwakarma tradition can come together and work together, and marketing can also be done in such centers. There should be more temples for Vishwakarma. This is something which I think the boards have to do. There were some boards. Vocational schools to be named after Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma common facility centers to be set up. Skill mapping has to be done. Vishwakarma chairs to be instituted in the universities. Vishwakarma huts like the Delhi hut where they can sell their wares, and an e-portal for the marketing at the global level. I do not want to take more time of yours. I think there is a 40-point agenda which the commission will be presenting to our government for future action. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bose.